Welcome back to Singapore Tonight as we welcome another festival back to the country. From French gastronomy to world-class performances and immersive exhibitions. The vOilah France-Singapore Festival kicks off this weekend and runs through June, bringing French and Singaporean creativity together across the island. And joining us tonight is His Excellency Stefan Marchisio, who is Ambassador of France to Singapore. Ambassador, welcome to the show again.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's always great to have you, but let's talk about vOilah this year. It's become quite a permanent fixture in our cultural calendar here in Singapore. What are some of the highlights that you're looking forward to for this year's edition?
Let me tell you, we have several highlights, okay? But I would say that we will put some light on gastronomy and French cuisine. And we want to create a connection with somehow, if I may say, because I know it's important in Singapore, but the hawker center culture. So we will bring the French food market to Singapore. So in vivocity, as you said, starting this weekend for the whole weekend, actually Saturday and Sunday. And I hope it will attract a lot of people because this, is a French tradition. So it runs from in every village, whatever the site, from Paris to small village in France. So we will bring that to Singapore this weekend. This will be one of the highlights. We have, of course, other highlights, such as, exhibition by the Louvre Museum. And I can go on forever like this.
Yes, let's talk a bit about food first, because that's something all Singaporeans can get behind, right? We're talking about fine cheeses, we have wines, Michelin star chefs coming in also. Why do you think gastronomy is such a key part of connection between both cultures?
I said it already a little. We have this long-standing tradition in France, and I think it is also deeply rooted in the Singaporean people mind. So we thought it was quite obvious to try to do that in Singapore. And so we decided to do it in vivocity because it's an open, mall. A lot of people go there, so with families, kids, and we want to reach out to a lot of people like this. You said it was a little bit of a secret, but we have French chef, Michelin 3-star chef, coming to the market. And well, let's go to the full secret. We will have masterclass by three star chefs starting on Saturday morning. So open, for everybody to come and see how you can cook when you are in the shoes of a French chef. So I hope people will enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, recently France and Singapore has established a comprehensive strategic partnership. What role do you think festivals like vOilah plays, when it comes to the relationship and building that between both countries, apart from formal diplomacy?
Yeah, that's very important. The CSP, the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership that you mentioned, was endorsed, during the state visit by President Macron in Singapore last year. So it's a very political framework for what we do together between France and Singapore. And as you know, we are very much aligned on a lot of things, and the current situation is quite, important that we have this kind of connection. But coming back to culture, we wanted the CSP to encompass culture because it's very important for us. I know it's very important for Singapore, and this is not just word, this is action. Prime Minister Wong and President Macron last year went on Anderson Bridge to see one of our vOilah exhibitions. So that was a strong signal. This year we have the Louvre exhibition in the Asian Civilizations Museum starting in June, running up to 2027. So showcasing in Singapore, Indian, Ottoman, Iranian masterpieces from the Louvre Islamic Arts branch collections. So this is one of a kind in Southeast Asia, a premiere in Southeast Asia. And I wanted this exhibition to run up to 2027, January 2027, because this is the beginning of the chairmanship of ASEAN by Singapore. So this makes a connection, between culture and diplomacy.
Yeah, and speaking of that connection, this festival will be running for nearly 2 months, and it will also span multiple locations all across Singapore. Why is it so important to get into various parts of Singapore to reach the people there?
I think culture can reach everybody. So, from the kids, the parents, to, the more elite, type of really amateurs of art. So we go from museums to Sentosa for screenings, for movies. We go to the French food market in a mall, to theaters, of course, So we try to be everywhere in Singapore, the heartlands, in the different community centers. We try to do that. And I think it works. We have a lot of people showing up to the show, to the events, and I think we are quite happy. We have, you said 26 events. We do this 26 event with 21 partners in Singapore, you know, from, of course, Maple Tree, but the Singapore International Festival of Arts, you know. If we have partners, if people show up, that's a good sign that we are doing something interesting.
Yeah, well, before we go, Ambassador, if you were to kind of pinpoint one or two events that you would highly recommend our viewers now just go down to participate and enjoy, what would they be?
I have three. First one is the French food market, but I said that already. The second one is the Louvre exhibition. So it will start on June 18th up to January 2027. Honestly, 100 masterpieces in Singapore. I'm sure people will love it. The last one, maybe, but we have so many, would be the Tara Ocean Foundation. So it will be an immersive experience about, you know, the climate change effect on biodiversity, on the mainstreams in the ocean. So we do that with a French NGO. I think this will be very interesting, but also, you know, raising awareness on, you know, the global challenges that we all face.
Ambassador, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all about the festival with us. That was the French Ambassador to Singapore, His Excellency Stéphane Marchisio. And once again, for our viewers, the vOilah France-Singapore Festival runs from 25th April to 20th June across multiple venues in Singapore.